Hello, today I'm going to demo guessing game, which uses an API to guess a secret word, similar to playing Hangman. If you'd like to visit the code, you can go to my GitHub and the repo's name guessing game. So if you also like to play this game, you will need to go to my personal website, kylewong.com, and click guessing game, and it'll take you to the app. So the motivation for this game was from a take-home challenge, but I wasn't required to make a full website. They just wanted a JavaScript script to run in the terminal, but I decided to go above and beyond. So it does have my personal touch and motivation in there as well. But if you want to start a new game, essentially this is going to be using a game object that is returned from the API, which looks like this, but a different ID, because this is just an old ID. And so the blanks represents the letters that are in the word that we're trying to guess, and guesses represent the guesses, and incorrect guesses represent the incorrect guesses. And these arrays are updated every time a guess is sent via a GET request. And so you can guess and so yeah, this is built in React completely by me. One thing that was challenging, or one of the few things that was challenging, was this was the first time I really used promises. I was familiar with them, but didn't really use them in practice, and so it was a different ballgame in that aspect, learning how to resolve and reject promises. And so as you see, you only get 8 tries, and then after that, or 8 incorrect guesses, and after that it tells you the word, and you can start a new game after that. But a deeper dive into the code. So essentially, it was a wrapper for the API, guest wrapper, and there was a CORS error. And so I used this workaround, CORS Anywhere, which essentially adds CORS headers to the proxy request by validating it. And so I created helper functions which essentially wrap the API calls using Axios, and they return the promise. And so create game just uses a post, which is essentially creates this game object. Guess sends a put with the ID and letter. Get game state gets the game state, which will get this game object, and gets list of words will get all of the words that are possible that you would receive when playing the game, and I believe there's 274,000. And so also created a test file using Mocha, and so it just tests different things, like make sure when you create the game object has a certain amount of fields, that the list of words actually has the amount that you expect, and getting the game state, making sure that it has what it should have, um, guessing a letter that's already been guessed, guessing a letter for a game ID that does not exist. And so app.js uses the guess wrapper to essentially manipulate state and to render the board and the guesses and incorrect guesses. So essentially just uses these 3 arrays and returns them down here, by manipulating state. And so I really liked this project because I just got exposure to promises, got exposure to testing and how to use a wrapper and that whole design process I think really is beneficial. Just kind of decoupling my code, have one place to wrap the API calls in a function, test, and then import the guest wrapper to use it in state and to create the necessary logic to build the application, which is essentially manipulating the object, essentially the blanks, printing the data as need be, since return promises. Essentially, this state that wrapper is the guest wrapper instance, and then is that didn't on that promise and setting state, and then displaying state values as need be in the render. So yeah, fun project, and feel free to play along.